Now then, people, and welcome back to the Just Your Football Show, and it's time for your Leeds versus Burnley pre-match chat. Before we get into the video, please, as always, smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, and of course, hit that notification bell so you don't miss a trick. I want to wish you all a happy new year as well. Obviously, I'm recording this on New Year's Eve. If you're watching this after the fact, I hope you had a great New Year's, and I hope you have a great 2022. I feel that 2022 might just be Leeds United's year. I can't lie. I feel things are going to change. We had quite a long layoff over Christmas and we needed it. Obviously, Liverpool game missed. We'd have been spanked in that game. And to be honest, I'm actually quite happy we missed the Villa game as well because they were in great form. I know it was at Ellen Road and we have a decent record at Ellen Road and we'll talk about that a little bit later on. But it's a game I wasn't really looking forward to. However, we've had time. We've got players returning. Things are looking a little bit more rosy. We've got January on us now. It's now January the 1st if you're watching this later. And Leeds will be active. And Bielsa said as much in his press conference. So I expect 2022 to be Leeds United year. And we have reason for optimism. Believe me in that. Believe me in that. You know me. I can only come at you how I see it. And I do see it as glass half full all the time. I know not a lot of years like that. You know, there's people that prefer, you know, to maybe look at it from a different angle, and that's their prerogative. We all have different opinions, and that's what makes football such a good topic to cover, I guess, because there are so many differing opinions. But let's talk first of all about the press conference and the news that came out from that press conference. Leeds will have 4 players back to face Burnley on Sunday. We have recovered, said Bielsa. Junior Firpo, obviously, after his suspension. Dan James, Diego Llorente, Robin Koch already returned, we know, and Harrison, who went off against Arsenal. He picked up a knock early doors. He's fit, ready, raring to go as well. So we have 4 there. I know I've said 5, but Koch, we know, already returned, but there's 4 there that are going to come straight into the side, you would imagine. And of course, we have Bamford as well. Bamford's said himself he's ready to go. Bielsa said he's healthy, but not quite match fit. So what will that mean for Bamford? Will he start? Maybe not. We don't want to rush him back. He came on against Brentford, remember, got that equaliser and injured himself celebrating. So I don't know if it's wise to have him starting in this game, but to have him on the bench, it's already a massive improvement. We did hear some disappointing news. Liam Cooper and Calvin Phillips are going to be out till March. So you're talking roughly about 10 games. So that is a long time to be missing 2 key personnel. I know not a lot of people are big on Cooper. There's a percentage of the fan base anyway. I say not a lot. It might be a lot. I don't know. I don't know the numbers. But one person we're all massive on and we understand the importance of him to our side is, of course, Calvin Phillips. And he's going to be out till March. So that's a massive loss for us. What that then means is obviously Leeds have to explore options in January. I did a video on that the other day and a lot of people watched that. So thank you very much for that. And Bielsa's been sort of echoing our thoughts, my thoughts, you know. He said himself in the press conference, and I think these are the key bits for me. And if you read between the lines and look at it from my angle, I think he's saying we're getting players in January. You know, he says we've been recovering players, even if Phillips and Cooper return in March, even if Shackleton comes back at the end of January, start of Feb, the amount of players we have will be increasing. We will see where we are in January. If an alternative comes up, then we will take advantage of it, you know. He also went on to say the majority of things that could have happened during this, you know, first part of the season, this calendar year. He said, I imagine certain resources could resolve them. But evidently, those resources weren't the adequate ones. So for me, reading between the lines, that's saying, look, I know I need to improve the depth of the squad. He's almost said that there. The resolutions he had were adequate resolutions. He needs to improve on that. He's telling us that regardless of if Shackleton comes early and Phillips and Cooper in March, we're still going to need bodies prior to that. He's saying for me that the squad size is going to improve. He was even asked from Joe Donoghue about loans for certain under-23s, and he said that is also going to be an option because he doesn't want to hamper their growth. if we were to loan under 23s out, we'd have no one on the bench. So if he's willing to do that, then of course the squad size is going to improve. Just on Shackleton as well, I mentioned him there, January. Creswell, the same, January, February time, they're going to be back. So we have dates now. We have stuff to look forward to, but we know that we have got 4 personnel ready to go for this weekend's game. That being Junior Firpo, Dan James, Diego Llorente, and of course Jack Harrison. But if you read between the lines, for me, Bielsa is saying January is a go. We will explore options in January. I think the club understand the importance of it, even if there is a slight look at short-termism by getting in players to make sure we stay up. But that's what we need to do, and that's what the club are going to do, in my opinion. And of course, Sunday we play Burnley. And Marcelo Bielsa spoke on the significance of this game. He said, look, every game that we play from here will be important. Sunday is a great opportunity to redirect where the campaign is going. And if we do get a win on Sunday, it will certainly have a totally different look. Obviously, Burnley had a couple of games in hand. They played last night against Manchester United, lost 3-1. They're a bit COVID-ravaged at the minute, have a few injuries. Will the game go ahead? I hope so. We had a bit of a COVID update from Popey. You know, he said it all depends on how the situation develops at Burnley. Burnley were down like 4 players yesterday. However, Deitch did say he expects a few back from injury and maybe also from their isolation due to COVID, because they hadn't played since mid-December. And Bielsa said himself he feels as it stands, the game is on. But we still have 48 hours to wait, though, so we need to be mindful of that. But just from Sean Deitch, you know, prior to the Man United game, they were missing Josh Brownhill, Nick Pope, Jay Rodriguez and Kevin Long after testing positive for COVID. Ashley Barnes, Maxwell Cornet and Connor Roberts were all out through injury as well. Maxwell Cornet is an interesting one because he's got AFCON as well. Will he be risked? I'd prefer him not to. I suppose he won't want to play with AFCON on the horizon. He won't want to be rushed back from injury and put straight back into the side. But he would be someone I'd be really wary of, especially when you consider that Leeds United were so close to signing him in the summer and instead opted for Junior Firpo. So, look, hopefully the game goes ahead, because I think it's a perfect game for Leeds United to start 2022 with, to be honest, because our record against teams that are in and around us in the bottom half is very good, has been since Bielsa came into the Premier League. But I know people probably won't realise it, but it's been decent this season as well. There is only Southampton outside the top half of the Premier League that we've lost to so far. Yes, we haven't won a lot of games, and we haven't, won as many as we've drawn against teams down there, the likes of Newcastle, etc., Brentford, for example, but it's still not losses, and you need to pick up your points where you can. And I see this Sunday game as being a game that Leeds United can pick up points, and I'd go as far as to say we will pick up 3 points. That's where my head is at. So we have a good record against teams in and around us, and that for me is our fight. And just while we're talking about our form against teams around that bottom half as well, let's have a look at our home form. Leeds United's home form is actually pretty decent. Again, I know people won't believe it just with the current situation we find ourselves in, but we've played 9 games at home this term and only lost 3 of them. And each loss came against teams who currently sit in the top 6, that being Liverpool, West Ham and Arsenal. Soundly beaten by Liverpool and Arsenal, but we only just lost to a last-minute Antonio goal from West Ham, if you remember rightly. So home form's been great. Record against teams in and around us is decent. So I expect us to pick up 3 points. I do, We have claimed all 3 of our Premier League victories after taking the lead as well this season. And, I believe that if we can get a goal and get in front early, then the game's there for the taking, because Burnley, like ourselves really, when falling behind, it usually spells disaster for them, They have a similarly unimpressive Premier League record when falling behind, drawing 3 and losing 7. And to be honest, they've lost their last 3 league visits to Ellen Road. So if Leeds United can take the initiative in this game, having had a rest, having missed 2 games, having a number of players back available, getting a goal in that first half, then I fully expect Leeds United to go on and win this game, and I expect us to win it to 0. I know there'll be people, naysayers, reading there, too positive, too this, too that. Burnley are a decent side, let me just say that. But records are there. I know records are there to be broken, but I think our home form isn't that bad. It isn't that bad, right? Our record against teams in the bottom half is good. As I say, our losses, only one outside of the top half, is, of course, Southampton. We've beaten Burnley the last 3 times we've played them. We have players fresh back into the side. Burnley have a few injuries, have a few COVID scares themselves. So I think everything leads to a Leeds United win and a positive start to 2022. In terms of what Burnley will line up with, they're not going to spring any surprises, are they? It's going to be 4-4-2, let's be honest. I think they started with Aaron Lennon up top against Manchester United, and he actually scored the other night. But I expect them maybe to go with Vidra, freshen it up. We all know about Mateo Vidra, obviously went to Burnley instead of opting for Leeds United. But I expect Burnley to line up with Hennessy in goal, if indeed Nick Pope's still out. A back 4 then of Lawton, Ben Mee and Tarkowski. Eric Peters at left back. Dwight McNeil on the left wing. Again, Dwight McNeil is a very, very good player and someone we need to be wary of for sure. Stevens and Westwood in the middle of the park. Lennon from the right. And, of course, up front, Wood and Mateo Vidra. What that means for Leeds United, of course, we will likely line up with a 3-3-1-3 to combat their 4-4-2. And for me, there's a little bit of a selection headache, which is mad when you think we've still got quite a few players out. But the reason I say that is because Llorente, Koch, Strauch are all available. They're all available. It's been very rare that we've had Llorente and Koch both fit at the same time. There's still 48 hours it might not be when that comes around. But the reason you would say there's your 3 centre-backs, Llorente, Koch, Strauch. And that's how I would line it up. But we know that Bielsa likes Bill Ayling. Now, Bill Ayling could play at right wing back, for example, but then where does Dallas fit in? So will Dallas play at right wing back? Could Ayling go on at right centre back? And does that mean either Llorente, Koch and Strauch, one of them drops out? Because I think Junior Firpo play left wing back. There is quite a few selection headaches, I would say, for Bielsa. And for me as a fan looking at it, trying to pick what we'll line up with, you know. But my preferred lineup would be Meslier in goal, a back 3 of Llorente, Koch and Strauch, Ayling at right wing back, Junior Firpo left wing back, Forshaw, playing in the Calvin role, if you like, a front 3 of Rafinha from the right, Dan James from the left, and I would say Joe Gelhardt at this moment in time, just due to the fact that Bamford's not quite ready. If Bamford is ready, I expect Gelhardt to drop out. I know Leeds fans would prefer Bamford to start ahead of him, but would like Gelhardt in the team somewhere. But I just don't see how he would fit in if Bamford is fit. But I'm going to opt for Gelhardt in this situation just due to the fact that Bamford's touch and go. And then just behind them, I guess, in the midfield, one with it being the 3-3-1-3. Would he go with Roberts? Could he go with Dallas? He's not going to drop Dallas, is he? So maybe it might be Dallas in there. Again, it's a very hard one for me to select, and surely will be for Bielsa as well, because he has his favourites, regardless if people agree with that or not. But you would imagine he will play Ayling and Dallas. So what does that mean for the back 3? Does that mean Ayling will go in at right centre-back? We'll lose one of the centre-backs out the side and Dallas goes in at right wing-back. It could well mean that Forshaw plays in a higher position and maybe Strauch comes in the DM. That might be another option, and I'd be happy with that as well. But it'll be interesting come kick-off on Sunday, an hour before, just to see how Leeds United do line up. I want to know your thoughts in the comments, how you expect Leeds United to line up for this game. And let me know your score predictions as well. I think Leeds win this game. I think we win the game 2-0, a goal in either half. I would love Bielsa ball to be at its peak and batter Burnley like we have done previously, you know. I remember games last season at home where we would just knock teams out of the park. I don't see that happening currently because we're nowhere near to the level that we've been used to seeing. I mean, it'd be a great start to 2022 if it did happen. I do think it'll be tight. I do think it'll be cagey. I think it'll be nervy. But I do think Leeds United will see this game out. I'm very, very hopeful that we have a fantastic start to 2022 and Leeds United win this game 2-0. We can't lose it. We can't lose it. It's a must-win game. Must-win game. We can't lose this one, and this will kickstart us in 2022, and I think we will pick up 3 points. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm going to leave it there. Peace out. Leeds.